You are now watching Believe. Do you believe?
All right, you know what that music means. It's another episode of Unfiltered and the band that nobody can see. But right now, Todd Frazier is playing Sinatra in his head, so it's all cool. As we welcome in the Toddfather himself, who is a real father, and his name is Todd, so it works out. What's up, dude? How you been, man?
Good, man. Good to see you. Good to talk to you.
You too,
You look great always,
Thank
too,
you.
man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I've lost some weight. It's called stress eating, like you don't eat. It's been it was.
No. I need to get on that soon because I feel. They say the freshman 15. I feel like I'm getting the retired 15 coming around here pretty
Dude,
soon.
come on, man. You're gonna stand out there in that heat no more. I mean, it makes it a little easier. But you run around with your kids, aren't you? Come on, man.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But I mean, school ends. Well, my one son's out. School ends tomorrow for my daughter, and today for my 3-year-old. He's done with nursery school or whatever, pre-K. I don't know what you call
pre-K,
it.
Yeah, or it could be nursery school. I think they're different.
Whatever. He's moving on.
Yeah, whatever it is. You got upped. He's done.
Exactly.
So I want to start here before we go backwards. We'll bounce around. We'll do some This Is Your Life stuff, and I want to hit with some just other life and baseball things too and mess around with you. But for you, like day to day, you're coaching now. Like what have you been doing? Like tell everyone what you've been doing.
So basically, since after the Olympics, honestly, I've been doing something. I was coaching flag football. We won a flag football championship. My 8-year-old son Blake, my daughter.
Is he
was
8 already?
Yeah, he's 8.
Oh my God, dude! Wow.
My daughter
won
best overall in the States in gymnastics out of like 150 girls in New Jersey. My wife's a really good teacher of gymnastics.
I was gonna say it didn't come from you.
No, the flexibility, no, the raw athletic power and strength, maybe a little bit, but other than that, that's all her. Like the technique, like make sure the hands are here and here.
Okay.
And, the artistic.
Are you all into it though? Like, do you know the terms? Like, don't give me the
like
technique. Like, you know the terms. Come on, give me the terms. What?
Kip, yeah, I know the terms. Do I know what they are? No, double backhand, all these things. I don't know, but and then my 3-year-old's just a maniac. And now, I'm coaching an all-star team. We had our first game yesterday, and we were down 9-5. You only play 6 innings. We're down 9-5 in the 5th. 5-run 5th. My son comes in, shuts the door in the 5th, shuts the door in the 6th. We win 10-9.
Nice.
So it was
okay. It was Mariano Rivera. Okay.
Yeah, that's you only get 50 pitches. So this is baseball nuts. If you only get 50 pitches, which is great. You don't want 8-year-olds throwing too many. But you can't throw your guy right off Jump Street because, if he hits the 50 pitch mark in the second or third inning,
you're screwed.
That's
it. That's a wrap.
Down early, you still got a shot because your best pitcher's coming in.
Now, what's the? Because in dealing with Little League, so my son also 8, right? So I could some of these rules are just, and I'm sure they're different everywhere. And I played Little League for years up in New York, but now I'm down in Atlanta, and it's like. You got to move guys around in the field, but they can't be in certain spots in the field too much. And then it's like, you got like stolen bases. Like to me, I'll give you an example, and I want to know if this happens in your league because this is a baseball thing. But this to me, and you're probably going to tell me why I'm being ridiculous, and it's not ridiculous. If a ball gets hit to the outfield and 8-year-olds are playing, and the outfielder who's in right field runs it in. And he's like right up to like the dirt and the grass where he's standing there. You're going to tell me he got to throw it into the infield or run it into the infield or that dude can keep running?
Yes, dude, we did that.
Come on, man. At
6 and 7 years old, man, you had to, as long as you get it in the infield, the umpire's discretion and whether the guy can advance, like the travel balls, the rules are crazy. So, it's tough. You got to have some good players that can catch and throw and do all that jazz. I remember going through with that, but now in All-Stars here, like you're not allowed to steal bases. There's no stolen bases in All-Stars.
At all. Like even if it's a genuine steal, you can't.
No. You can't. Pass ball, anything. So this is All-Stars only. In travel ball, you can do all that. I think you can steal second to third. But the bottom line is, so my best catcher, I'm not even catching him. I need a better infielder, so I put him in the infield. You know, if the guy can't catch it at home, so be it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But doesn't that slow the game down? I mean, what about pace of play, Frazier? Come on, man.
Oh, bro, listen,
Like,
it was a 2 hour and 20 game, 6 innings. It was 2 hours and 20 minutes.
I mean, that's crazy.
It is. And then I have 13 kids. It's a continuous batting order. So that's the problem I messed up in the beginning. The rules I thought were, which our Little League told us, that, you know, you need to have, if you have 13 kids, they only have to get one at bat. They don't have to play in the field. I'm like, great, you know, so, but if you have 12, they got to play 3 innings, get a bat. And we mixed it all up. And now we have 13 kids that got a hit. So getting to the top of the lineup to get my son up to lead off is tough.
Now, I call this unfiltered, but I promise, like with these people, because, you know, I don't give a shit, right? So I just like do whatever.
Yeah.
So my charger's in here. So now we're going to just look at my kitchen for the people who are watching this on YouTube instead of listening on Apple. Because otherwise it'll be like, I'll be that guy who's like in the middle of that important phone call. And then, I mean, is there anything, literally, I'm sure this is happening, anything worse than when you're in the middle of an important phone call, like when you actually care about, which are rare, and your phone is on 2% and it's out, and now you can't get it charged, and you're sitting there yelling, like, it's like an elevator. Every time I need one, never there. When I don't need one, I'll walk downstairs to the bottom of my building, show up right there. I just like to complain.
It's annoying. It happens all the time, but you know, that's my wife. My wife's phone is probably dead now, and it's 12 in the afternoon. Non-stop, you know, does these Oreos. She dominates the Oreo world. So she does these like gourmet Oreos where she does designs and
what? Oh, see, I thought when you said there was some gymnastics thing, like it was called
no.
You're about like she's designing like chocolate covered Oreos, like
she'll make Lion King Oreos, Superman.
Oh, no wonder why you're sitting there thinking you're getting pudgy. Come on, man.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, can you try this? Can you make sure this is good? Like she makes graduation. It's all happened like a couple months ago, and she's killing the Oreo game here in Tom River.
Are you cooking? Like, what's your cooking like status? Like back of the baseball card for you, grilled cheese, like eggs, like what's up?
I'm more of a grill. I'm more of a grill guy. I get out in the grill and cook the chicken, the burgers, the dogs.
Okay, but that's not you're doing. Are you marinating? Like, are you doing like you doing?
I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
I'm listen. I'm not that guy. I'm just the guy. You give me the steak, you know. If you want to marinate, you got to do it yourself.
Here's some pepper. Here's some pepper.
I'm sitting there, I'm throwing back a cold one, you know, looking at the game. Oh, nice play, you know, and just checking the grill.
Right.
I'm not.
Just make sure nothing's on fire.
Exactly.
And that's it.
Watch pool. Yeah, you know how it is. Being that tough, you got.
Oh, dude, are you kidding me? And the
kid's good. Everybody's good, safe in the pool. The burgers are not burning, you know, that somebody just spilt soda all over the floor. There's ants everywhere, you know, that shit.
I know, I get it. And the toughest part for me is, like, so I got 3, like, anybody knows, and Todd knows, he got multiple kids. They never want to eat the same thing.
No,
like,
exactly.
Ever. Like, this isn't a restaurant, dude. Like, I was saying to my son, he's like, I'll be like, because it could be something good, like, and something like that's bad, like, health-wise, but good for them, even. Like, even if I was going to be like, hey, we're going to get McDonald's. It'll be the one day, like, my son would be like, see, I'm not really in the mood for that. Like, what do I look like to you? DoorDash?
Yeah, like my son, he likes Tropicana orange juice, my 3-year-old.
Okay.
But it has to be
with or without pulp. Do you like pulp or no?
No, not even that. The top of the orange juice has to be the orange cap, not the blue one. And I'm like, come on, dude.
Oh, see, that's no good.
No,
I'm with you on the cap versus the straw. Like I'm not in. So, but you know, the color of the cap. We're
getting over it. We're getting over it now. But it was.
It sounds like a thing.
Pretty weird. It was pretty weird to me.
When you sit there and you like, because it's athletes, it's a different life, obviously in a lot of ways, right, than anywhere else. But even if you're, I'm trying to think. Like always, welcome to 2022. I hedge like. I don't care. But when I think about, like, I was about to say a good job, and then I'm like, I got to be careful. Like, if I say a good job is a lawyer or an accountant or something, what? It's not a good job if I work at, of course, it's a good job anywhere. Yeah. But if you got to
be careful, everything.
If you got a solidified career that you enjoy, right? Yeah. in normal life, outside of like age, or you're going to retire because you're planning it for years, or some kind of an injury or a health issue, it never ends, right? Like you just keep going. Athletes for sports, it's the only thing that's different. So like be like good and bad or anywhere in between, how much did the end differ from what you thought as you were in the middle of the story?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know for me it was going to end winning a silver medal. I didn't know that. I think that was pretty unique. I thought I was going to be going out on top, winning a World Series. You dream about it,
of course,
but you always think about it. But it's one of those things. I won the silver medal, and I got interviewed right after. And the Pirates, they let me go. I was hard. I was pretty pissed off, if you want the truth.
I noticed. I saw you respond. Just watching you write to like writers is like one of my favorite pastimes.
I screwed up, man. The guy who said something about my wife, and that's a whole nother story.
You're not going to tell. I can never keep my mouth shut. So please, it's I understand.
You know how we are. When it comes to family, that's the one you can make fun of me all you want. I've been getting that all my life.
I'm the same way. I don't care what the hell you say about me. You say anything about anybody I care about, you've got trouble.
You say something derogatory to my wife, and then he got me. And but I knew after Pittsburgh, and then I knew I was going to the Olympics. I'm like, bro, this is awesome. Things happen. I got released. If you haven't got released in baseball, it's coming. Eventually.
That's right.
You haven't played. So I got released, blah, blah, blah. I call, Paul Seiler found out, the head of president of CEO of USA Baseball. And he said, "You're in." I said, "Yeah, you bet your ass I'm in." You didn't, I was in no matter what. And, being funny, of course, but we ended up winning the silver medal. I got interviewed right after. And, I got tears in my eyes because I felt like this was it. You just feel it a little bit. And at the end of the day, and, I choked up a little bit at my last interview. I kind of felt it then. And, I got home. I had a nice little parade here. It was great. Right when I got home out of the 13
Yeah, parade for you? I didn't really.
It was a small one, but just from about a mile. It was about a mile.
Because you're not from like, and now I got to be careful. You're not. I mean, you're in suburbia, like, so it's like they had a parade for you.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it was a quick. All friends and family and the fire department. They had like 5 fire trucks and police. It wasn't like, we're going miles. It was like a mile parade.
Dude, I can't get the mailman to stop and say hello. So I'm in awe anyway. That's great.
Yeah, I got home. I choked up again, and I'm like, dude, what is going on here? And I was so happy, and I had a feeling. I was like, man, maybe I'll get picked up, but in the back of my mind, I kind of knew that it was probably it. Even though I thought I could. People were getting injured. It's crazy. People got injured, or there was an opening, and they still didn't call you. And it was like, man, I must have pissed somebody off at the end of the day, because I knew I still had some stuff left in me. But, that's when I coached football. I did basketball. We had a fun year in basketball with my son. And now I did Little League, and we do travel ball. We just did the Cal Ripken experience in Aberdeen, Maryland.
I've been there. That's an amazing place.
Phenomenal. It
is so high level. It's crazy.
The group in all is just phenomenal. They, the hotel's right there. There's a lot to do around the hotel. The restaurants are great, and the fields are awesome. We played at Fenway Park. It was pretty sweet with the big green monster in left
Really?
field.
That's amazing. Okay.
Yeah, it was cool. But, and now I'm the head 8-year-old all-star coach. So I'm trying to figure that out.
You got to enjoy yourself. I mean, look, dude, I was just saying this before. You get 18 days off a year. Like, people are like, I want to go on vacation, like in normal life.
Yeah.
How long you want to go away? Let's go away for 10 days. You'd only have 8 left.
No.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and people don't give enough credit to that, and all the travel, living out of suitcases, being away from your family. Like, how much just waking up at like whatever time in the morning with the kids, even if you have no plan for the day, how much is that like a vacation in general?
Without a doubt. I like the days where my son comes in like 5 o'clock in the morning every once in a while, and he's like, "Dad, I just want to snuggle with you." And we snuggle, we fall asleep together again. Like, that stuff, I know I got to cherish more now, because I know he's 3, but I see how my 8-year-old goes, and it goes by like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
soon they don't want the Tropicana, and then you're in trouble.
You're tired. You're like, hey, you get one chance here. No, don't make any noise, because you know how they are. And we wake up together, and it's like, man, this is it right here. You know, he wanted to snuggle with me, not his mother, and I was like, man, this is great.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
Like that kind of stuff. You know? But trying to cherish everything and be a coach and dad at the same time. It's pretty cool.
One of the things that I love about covering the game in the last 20 years that, you know, as a fan, but you really kind of get being around the game is the relationships that are built in a clubhouse, right? And
Yes.
it's a long year. I'm curious because even though it was a way shorter time, because of the experience you share in the Olympics, right? And the travel and being on the road and all the new things and wearing that across your chest and all that, were the relationships stronger than you? And plus, you got guys who like could have called you dad in there, but like, and I'm sure we're giving you some shit about that. But like, are they stronger than they would be in any period of time just because of how much different it was?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Like when I was lucky enough to have Tim Fedorovich there. So we played Tim Fedorovich, an old school guy. I think he's AAA and he's coaching AAA for the Mariners right now, head coach. He got a job quick, and he wanted to go quick. I'm like, bro, I'm going to relax a little bit. But, yeah, I was lucky to have him. He was my roommate in college when we played Team USA ball.
I didn't know that. And, okay. Yeah, before he was with the Dodgers. Was he Dodgers first?
I think he was Dodgers. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I think Dodgers were his first team. But he was my roommate. We goofed around. Listen, we came together so like glue. It's amazing to think. Like, we'd always have meetings before and after practice and stuff. And I tell these guys, listen, this is going to be a game that you don't understand at first, but the intensity of these games are going to be something you've never experienced in your life. You're playing for your country, and everybody, you know, some of the games, the first game we had, we played against Nicaragua. I said, listen, there's going to be more Nicaragua fans than USA fans. Just be prepared for that. And lo and behold, and I'm like, listen, they're going to cheer their butt off because USA fans, we're great. We have great fans. But, you know, they're not dancing the whole time.
Oh, come on. It's terrible. Like when they did that thing at Chase Field, like for like the WBC, I'm like, come on, can we move this anywhere else? You got to go in the right spot in the U.S. You got to go in the right spot to get that.
Yeah, but the energy level, and all of a sudden, like after first pitch, I'm getting the boys fired up, and like you can see it in their faces. Like, they went like, all right, let's go. Come on, USA. And they're like, boom. They're like, all right, let's go. Like all of a sudden, every pitch, they hear me yelling at an umpire. They're like, yeah, they're like screaming, you know, whatever it is. But the intensity level was just out of this world. And Nicaragua tied it up 1-1, and they made a base running mistake, which was key for us in the second or third inning. We threw a guy out of third. He went for third. I don't know why. And then we ended up winning. But playing against I think our biggest rivalry in those is Dominican Republic, because we know how good those guys are. And back and forth battle, they're screaming at us. I know all the guys over there. But when we play against each other, it's like, hey, let's go.
Yeah, of course.
Gloves up. I'll talk to you after the game. You know, let's go. And there was bad calls that, you know, coaches are screaming in Spanish. We're screaming in English. And that's the intensity where these young kids all of a sudden, like Jaron Duran and Luke Williams, just to name two guys, were like, all of a sudden their eyes got big. I'm like, bro, I told you. I said, let's go. Let's start locking in. And next thing you know, boom, boom. And that they'll experience that if they get into a playoff World Series, but not. I don't know if they'll ever hit that level of, you know, if we lose, we're letting down a country, which is pretty crazy to think.
Yeah, and it's like the people don't. It's never going to be the same in the U.S. because baseball is everywhere, right? Even for the athletes, the money that's there for the guys, it's a different thing. I mean, and I know covering baseball down in Venezuela and the Caribbean series in Dominican and all this, it's a different. I mean, it is a different way of life in terms of how much, and it really is kind of inspiring. Like you watch like the kids, like without like even the tools to do it, like just living and breathing baseball. You know what I mean? So it's a different kind of a thing. I am curious though. It brings me to my next question, which was, okay, so you played in both sides of New York, right? Yeah. And you know where my love lives, but you could be honest. It's okay. Yeah. But I am curious. I mean, you played in both of those spots, and in one of them in a heated playoff run, right? Yeah. What you've been around those two teams as a kid your whole life. So, like,
Sure.
what surprised you, if anything? Because that's what's like. It's different topic. Because like if you can, it's just if you came from Alabama or California, it doesn't matter. It's like it's all wide eyed. But you like thought you probably had a handle on what all that's about because you grew up around it your whole life.
Yeah.
What
No,
what surprised you? Anything?
everything. I mean, everything. You think you know exactly. You grow up, you're like, man, it'd be awesome to play Yankee Stadium, play, Shea Stadium at the time, City or whatever it was, Shea Stadium.
Sure. For both of us, sure.
I give the prime example of a guy, Jose Trevino, and I'll go back to your question. I hit him up and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa because I played with them in Texas.
Who, by the way, can feel the hell out of the ball.
He's ridiculous.
People don't. Ridiculous. Yeah. It is stupid.
I said, I texted him. I talked to both of them. I said, listen, this isn't Texas anymore. I said, you are going to have the most fun you've ever had playing in baseball in your life when you hit to New York. And like, man, I can't wait. I said, listen, no, you don't understand the severity. Like every day, this isn't going to the ballpark. Oh, don't worry. I might take a day. No, you cannot take a day off here in New York for one, because the people there will eat you up and spit you out.
That's right.
I said, you're going to have so much fun. Just play your game and show up and go out there and produce. And they're doing awesome, both of them. But yeah, I mean, you don't know as a kid what to expect. I met Derek Jeter after we won the World Series. Paul O'Neill was one of my idols growing up. I met him first too as well. But people ask me all the time, when you play for the Yankees, they ask, why is everybody so excited? It's so different. Like, what makes it different? I said, I have no clue. It's just the expectation of winning. Like, you're going there, and no matter if you've been a jackass your whole life,
that's it.
You're the troublemaker your whole life. All of a sudden,
it's the Golden State Warriors, right?
Right,
Andrew Wiggins. Nobody cares that he played on the T-Wolves, right? Andrew Wiggins. I mean, look what happens when he went to the Warriors, right? So it's the same kind of thing. It's that culture. But I got to ask you because, and I even say this as a Met fan. My whole family except me are Yankee fans. So I even know this as a Met fan. When I used to walk in the old Yankee Stadium, when I was like 12 as a kid, it's like your mouth is like drooling. To me, it's the aura, right? Like when you put that uniform on the first time, I don't care. Everybody says the same thing when they sign a contract. Like you could sign with the Royals and it's like, oh, this is amazing. Because it's amazing to play for a living.
For sure.
Can you admit and explain, like in real life terms, like what is it like when you look in the mirror and you got a Yankee hat on?
I did that a lot, man. It was unbelievable because growing up, that's all you when it was baseball. You had your Mets fans in school, you had your Yankee fans in school. And it was a battle because, whoever won that game, you got talking shit rights for the rest of the year. So
that's right.
They went to the opposite stadium. It was just unbelievable. The roar of the crowd, I remember going there watching games. The stadium would shake and rock back and forth. I was an early guy. So for me, when I go out and stretch, I want to be the first one out there. Because I wanted to hear the crowd. I wanted to feel how the weather was. I wanted to feel the wind. I wanted to, see how the field was doing that day, like that kind of stuff, and just take everything in and look around. It's like it was like fake. It was surreal.
It's crazy, right? Like when the bleacher creatures are doing roll call. Like, is there anything cooler than that? That's got to be the coolest shit of like anything, right?
Because I used to be one of the bleacher creatures. Whenever I went there, I mean, you get those are the cheapest tickets. You go out there, Derek Jeter.
Yeah, of course, right.
It was so cool to be one of those guys, and then eventually your name being brought up. And I was like, dude, the only thing I could think of was doing like the Shooter McGavin kind of thing, and that's kind
of course
what I did. They're tying. I'm like Shooter, and I would like say it to myself every time I did it. But it was pretty cool. I got a lot of praise for that one. So
I think about when. From like your Met time, and I want to go back and talk Cinci and a couple other things with you. But it's funny how like this as a fan, and for you this is Rutgers. Like for people who don't know you, like for you it's not even like I don't want to hear about this bucket. I'm not even bringing up the team with Gronk retired. What do you want to cry with you? I don't even want to hear it.
He'll be back in a month. That's okay.
Yeah, of course he will. Wait till Tom was gone too. Remember? I mean that lasted 4 seconds. So.
Yes, sir.
But for you, like with Rutgers, it's like me with the Mets my whole life, right? A season can't hinge on a game, but that run where when you're with the Mets, you won 16 out of 17 or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
And I want to talk to you about the home run, but the game, Now, I just before we got on and I hit record, because I know obviously what you meant to him in terms of kind of mentoring and all that. I was talking about Pete Alonso because I love what he's doing.
Sure.
But he happened to make a terrible 3-run error with Jake on the hill in the fourth game of that 4-game set that I think ended the season. Now, it wasn't before, it was 2 months before the end of the season. But if you win that game, I think it was like a game, like you come out of nowhere. And
went to a
you had Atlanta
game.
Next. I remember because you were coming to town, and it was like after that, it was up and down the rest of the way. But that game before that, which I think was like the 16th out of 17, I don't even remember. Was it Doolittle you hit the home run off of?
Yes. Yep.
That was as loud as that stadium has been in a regular season game in years.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you about, like, was that like I mean, you won a home run derby, you hit plenty of home runs, but like, was that place was lit after that homer, considering what had gone on?
It was unbelievable. We were down 6-0, I think, at the time. We came back and won the game. That was one of my special moments. So that's like, if you think about a top 5 moment, that's definitely up there. So it's like, and it couldn't be off a better guy, Sean Doolittle.
He's such a good dude. Such a good dude.
In the state final game, like I played again, he actually beat us. I think that was actually like a 6-2, 5-2 game. They beat us. And so I knew to myself, I said, he's going to get up there. I got to get his ass back. I think I got 2 or 3 homers against him too. So I'm like, all right. And I knew it. The one home run I hit off him in Oakland, he was pissed. He got the ball and just threw it against the backstop. And that's not like him. He gets angry, but never like that. And I knew. And the home run didn't mean anything. They still beat us. But I told myself, I said, I got to get his ass back. So, but yeah, that was one of the most memorable hits I've had in my career. And New York Flushing's was just raucous.
It was insanity. Because of what had gone on like the couple of weeks before that. So, I mean, you got to live through all that. And I got to ask you about Cinci because, and I want it real because I know your ties to the city and all that stuff.
Yeah.
People could talk about Dodger dogs. I lived in LA and they're like terrible. And Skyline Chili. Can we enough with this Skyline Chili? I mean, come on with this.
Hey, listen, I used to have 2 Dodger dogs before every game, bro. I love those damn things.
Yeah, but I mean, Skyline Chili. Come on, man.
I used to crush
Don't even tell me you. No one can like this crap, really, right?
Listen, I ate like absolute dog shit as a player. Okay, I tried the healthy kick. I did it with the Mets one time, and you know what? I felt absolutely amazing. But all of a sudden, I go on a rehab stint. It's like you get lazy. I just love crap food, but whatever.
Not Skyline Chili though, right?
I never liked chili, even before I got to Cincinnati.
You're doing such a good job, by the way, with this because it's the chili you don't like, not this guy. Because I mean, I just it's amazing in covering sports there. It's like I don't understand, and I love the city. It's an underrated town, but I don't get who cares about
listen.
People crazy with this.
Sean Casey, bro, he loves that stuff, bro. Remember him?
Yeah, of course. He's the mayor. I mean,
absolutely. Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
He absolutely loves that. So if you say something bad about that, he might come for you. But hey, it's like anything. Oh man, right on live TV. How you doing?
It's all right.
But it's like any other place. Jersey, New York with the pizzas.
Yeah, but in New York, the pizza's the best in the country. Sorry, Chicago. I don't want to hear about it. The first thing I say is it's like different kind of pizza. It's not the same.
I'll die on that one. Been telling people the same thing. Like, listen, bro, don't even start.
Yeah. Oh my God, I hear it in my head. Like Jerry Hairston Jr., like anybody from like Chicago, like around the league. I don't want to hear about the pizza. Come on.
Even their thin crust pizza is terrible. If you want the truth.
But I'm okay with like the deep dish. It's fine. But I'm not getting a deep dish pizza if I'm going to Manhattan anyway.
I like deep dish, but I won't go out of my way for it. Like I can't. That's not pizza to me. That's just like monster dough with cheese.
It's like cake.
No, yeah, I don't want that. I don't know why people just.
No, you can get a calzone instead of that. You just get a calzone, right? Instead of that.
Yeah, we call those Cinci slices over here. The Sicilians, but they take it to a new level. It's not pizza. You got to cover.
I'm with you.
Yeah, whatever.
That derby, that in general, like, give me whatever you want on the CINNATI Cincinnati. See how quick I did that? Or, but the derby, being there for that. Like, look, it's it's not a real game and all of those other things, but it's still like you're the most powerful, like you're the heavyweight champ, right? Like if you basically, like if you're a kid, that's how I think of it, right? For a home run derby, to do it at home. I have seen so many guys suck in front of the home crowd because, especially, you can explain this without the batting cage there. It's like a whole new dude. I watched, like, I remember poor Jason Bay. I think he swung and missed 8 times. Like people like don't realize how weird that is. So how were you able to do that in front of the home crowd? And where's that on like the pantheon of moments? Because that was just a cool thing to watch.
That's another top dog right there. Like I said before, having my brothers there, having my mom and dad, my wife and my son. She's pregnant at the time. There were some cool stories there. I mean, it was phenomenal, man. I can't really explain to it. I went in there. I actually practiced for it the year before with my brother Charlie, not knowing that it was going to change to the quick, 4 minutes.
Yeah.
But I always practiced that. Always did as a young kid. We had home run derbies and Little League All-Star practices all the time. I would always win. The only home run derby I ever lost, I lost 2 of them, was high school home run derby. This kid
in high school, really? Who? I got to know who beat you.
Del Val. Bro, with the metal bat, we must have hit like 30 home runs each.
Oh, I'm sure.
But the thing was, he went last, and he got the.
He knew what to beat. Is that Chase?
Yeah, he needed 30, and listen, he kept hitting them. To his praise, he beat me fair and square. And then
you're still bitter.
No. Yes. No. Hey, I'm bitter about a lot of things. Okay, but that's not one.
Me too. That's what being from the Northeast is all about.
Yeah, of course. And then I lost one of the minor leagues. We played at one of the oldest stadiums ever in I forget what it was, but it was like 400 to left. And like there was only 3 home runs hit. I hit 1, the other guy hit 2. So I'm not even going to count that one. But at the end of the day, it was just a great experience. And nobody knew what to do because it was 4 minutes. Like, how many home runs can you hit?
Who did you beat? Who was in the finals? I don't remember. I covered it. I remember you. I don't remember who.
Fielder.
Okay.
He was pissed.
Okay.
I saw on his face. He was upset because he was the favorite to win the whole thing. So I beat Prince, I beat Donaldson, then I beat Jock Peterson. So big Jock, man. God bless his heart.
Dude, let me tell you something, man. He can golf him from his shoes. I mean, he's got like that Vlad Guerrero thing in him where it's like the ball is like nobody should be able to hit
power,
that. Big time power. Big time power. For you, like when you look back at your time playing, I'm sure a lot of moments and a lot of stories and all kinds of stuff. What's the part of it you miss the most?
The camaraderie, I would say. The flying on the planes and, card playing on the plane. That's the time where you can digress and just relax a little bit, going over the game, the stuff, the games. Yeah, of course the game. But if I'm talking about other stuff, just walking out to the field before the game during stretch and just taking everything in like we talked about, that's probably the most I miss. Because, I didn't take anything for granted. Those days where you didn't feel good. It's like, listen, millions and millions and millions would want to be in your shoes. So get your head out of your ass and get out of there. And that's where I hope guys understand now, like, you can't take any days off, man. This is the greatest game in the world. Now I'm not playing anymore. I root for all the guys I play with. I don't even have a favorite team. Well, if I did, it'd be the Mets and Yankees. I want to see. I'm going to go to a
Subway Series. Be Mets and Yanks. They happen to be the 2 best teams in baseball right now. But I'm just saying. I mean, if they play in the Subway Series, you can root for them both.
Well, you know what? You
me. Like it's 3-3 in the 9th inning. Like who you rooting for?
I'm going to get a jersey. I'm going to get half.
Oh, don't do that half thing.
I'm going to go Yankees, Mets.
Don't do that.
Put 2 and 1 for the Mets, good for the Yankees. So I'm going to do the half and walk in there.
No, don't do that. I hate that because I hate like when a husband and wife go to like a Met Yankee game and they have that. I want to throw them out of the place. I mean, come on, you can't. Like you can hate each other during the day.
I'm the only one that can do it though because I play for both. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know, but you're going to have to root for one in your mind. Like you're from Jersey, you're going to yell at the screen for what? You want an out or a hit? Like who's getting? Like are you going to? It depends who's at the plate. You're going to tell me.
I'm just gonna go like this, though. This and this.
With the thumbs up. The last thing is because it's something that I think is really cool about the way sports are. Like in life, we all impact people, right? Like we're parents, sure. So like for us, we think about our kids, we think about our parents. But when you're on a team, like no offense to anyone who works in an accounting office, but like Bob in accounting isn't being like, man, I'm leaving the company, but I can't wait to watch the rest of Martha's career to see how nobody gives a shit. I mean, it just doesn't work.
That's a great point. That's a
you know what I'm saying?
point.
Like no one, you could work at a car, like you're a mechanic and like, your name is Bob and Mike is leaving after 2 years working together. You're not calling Mike next month. They're going to see what kind of cars he's putting together. No one cares. Right. But baseball and sports in general, it's a different thing. I mentioned Alonso, TA, who I love. I love Tim Anderson. It's so funny too, because I remember talking to him when you guys were together, and you could talk to him off air about, like, at the time, Kobe, may he rest, and the Lakers, and he'd talk to you but like he wasn't ready to just be who he was, like, out here yet. I'm so proud of I love watching him. So what's it like watching those kind of guys? I'm sure there's a million others that like, hey, I made some small impact here.
Tim would be probably number one. I mean, it was his first year, him and Pete Alonso. It was his first year. He was a great student of the game, man. He listened. I would tell, honestly, I used to tell him where to position himself. And I said, listen, you're going to do this for other guys. So understand, I've been here longer. And when a veteran guy come up, I'm like, I need 3 steps over. I'm like, more, and next thing you know, the ball would hit right to him. He'd look at me and give me a nod. I'm like, I got you, and that's just understanding and taking notes and doing your homework. And, with Pete, I was more, and he had the raw power. He had the ability to knack for seeing pitches and hit the ball and get the average. But I wanted to make sure he was comfortable. And that was a big thing, the focus with him. I want him to be comfortable, not worry about any outside distraction, especially in New York, how the media could be over there. Bunch of jackasses sometimes.
Yeah, I know. I'm from there, but I don't live there now.
Trying to get the young guys to say something stupid. But, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed him and, focusing on, the guys like Isaiah Kiner for Leffa. He's thanked me a lot getting a Gold Glove. I said, yeah, you're right. Cause I got traded. That's why he got that. Being funny, of course, but he was a man among boys when he first came up on the defensive side for sure. And, I wanted to hang out with the younger guys because I wanted them to feel as comfortable as possible and enjoy it and know that, when you get this old, man, you got to make sure the young dudes are prepared and focused. That's why this game keeps going on the way it does.
I'm telling you right now, and I say this in closing, like there was ever, and I don't even know the stories that would be written in the movie, but when I think of personalities in an infield and an infield that can defend, the infield that you played in with you and Votto and BP, like is,
oh yeah,
like, first of all, you want to talk about being able to field the ball in an infield, like, and I hate to say this, I don't even care who the hell is playing shortstop, but like it's like the ability to fit goes, like a million people, but like the personalities of the three of you who like are all fascinating in your own ways. And like I love different kind of people, and I can't even imagine, like, there should be some movie made about what even the conversations in that infield were like, because the fielding is amazing. Like, to me, Brandon like never got enough credit because second base is, people don't pay attention to it, but that dude was as slick as we've seen in the last 20 years. But like that infield, is there something about even those times, like playing with that infield? I know it's stuck when we're questioning, but that's what you do when you're a pro.
It was stepping up. I was the young guy, so it's like I got to step up and put these big shoes on. When Scott Rowland left, and of course, and then I got, I'm trying to step up and be that cornerstone at third, and it made you play better, made me play better. It's like when I made an error, someone made an error. It's like we took that to heart. We were upset, visibly. So it made me a better athlete. And I thank all those guys because, sometimes you go through the motions, but if you don't step up, remember Dusty telling me, man, I was struggling. I went like 0 for 31. And he goes, hey, man, they're looking for another third baseman. And I said, no, man, I want you on the team. But you better step up. And I remember like it was yesterday. It was my second year. And then I ended up going 10 from the next 20. Didn't look back after that. But fortunate enough, sometimes you're going to go – every kid's going to go through that. And the pressures, unless you're Joey Votto or one of those cats that just dominates every year, you better figure it out quickly.
All right. We're going to do this again at some point down the road and mess around, and I'll catch up with you. I just eat, some salad. All right. We're going in opposite direction. No, I'm just messing with you. Have fun with the kids and enjoy this, dude. Because like literally, it's like I can't imagine. I hate when media people nobody should ever talk like they know what anyone else is doing, right?
Yeah.
But it's like,
exactly.
I wish I could play, right? I can't,
Sure.
but I can try and imagine how difficult when that stops, right? It's like your last day of college. Like, I can't go back to a dorm now. Like, I get that, right? So this, right? It's like when you're in the first time, when we've both been through this, when you have your first kid, for any of you who have not had, and let me stop. We didn't have the kids. They did all the work. We did nothing, but we do sleep on the crappy chair. But like when they bring you into the car and you drive away and you're like, wait, there's no phone a friend anymore. Like, no one's going to check on you for an hour. Like, I get that, right? I can't even imagine what it's like to just leave a sport, but enjoy and embrace all the time, man, because you haven't had any of that. So enjoy it.
No doubt. I appreciate that, man. Always.
Have fun, buddy. We'll talk again soon. You too, man. All right. Just wear bigger shirts. No more mediums.
You got it.